Emotions are signals in your body telling you that something is happening. In themselves, they are not bad because they can motivate us, they can help us to build stronger bonds with other people, and they help us to communicate our needs or communicate with other people so that we can have our needs met. Hello everyone, my name is Tolu Akinyemi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Here we talk about ladies pep talk. Those are conversations that ladies should have with themselves on a regular basis. We share things about marriage as well. Basically, this channel is to encourage you to rise above limitations, limiting beliefs, to be who God has created you to be as a woman. And today, I'm going to be talking about understanding and managing your emotions as a woman. First off, I've said earlier that emotions are signals in your body telling you that something is happening. Have you ever felt like you have this burden, this weight on your shoulders, and you start feeling pains here? Or have you ever felt this anxiety in the pit of your tummy? You feel it so strong, so much, or probably you had an experience outside with some people and you just realize that you get back home, your mind is thinking, replaying that situation, and it looks like you have come back home with all the people that were involved in that event. You are sleeping on your bed with your spouse probably, and you have all those other people with you because your mind is just raging. You start having headaches, eye aches, shoulder pain, different physical and body symptoms. When you start feeling that way, it's a pointer that you need to pay attention to your emotions. And the first way to start is by asking yourself, how do I feel? How have you felt in the past 1 week? Today, how have you felt? Have you felt good? Have you felt bad? Have you felt funny? Is it that you felt in a way that you couldn't understand how you were feeling? Ask yourself, how do you feel? What's going on your inside? What's going on in your head? It's very important that we pay attention to this. Otherwise, you realize that you, instead of responding to things, responding to people, you start reacting in certain ways. And it looks like you're the bad guy. That's because something is going on and you're not paying attention to it. A lot of us are so used to sweeping our emotions under the carpet. You feel a certain type of way, you just shrug it off. What you've done is to sweep death under your carpet and it will still be there. And then all of a sudden, you just burst out and it looks like, is she crazy? Why did she act like there's a knot loose in her head? You know, different things like that. You see people who behave in different ways like that. And sometimes you can tell people, oh, drop your emotions at the gate before you come to the workplace. Drop your emotions outside, as if that's possible. No, it's not. Our emotions are like a biological response to situations. So it is normal. You feel them. They are not bad in themselves, but what you do with your emotions determine if they are bad or good. When they are happy emotions, good emotions, you don't really have to struggle much. But when they are negative, it's almost like your body wants to release something. Your body wants to release something, and you have to be very careful how you release it. So we have to start paying attention. So I said earlier, describe how you feel. A lot of times we think too much in our head. We stop so many things. Everything going on is just in your head. If you've done any project of late, maybe in the academia or something, you realize that as you're working, you have different tabs on your system open. There are different tabs, and over time, you realize that your system starts to slow down. And then you have to start closing each tab one after the other, because you open this, you read this article. As you're reading this article, you see a link, you open another article, and you have so many tabs open. Sometimes our brain, our mind, that's how it is. You have so many tabs open in your head. Different things are just going on, and it looks like there's a chaos going on in your head. Before you know it, you start reacting to everybody and situations around you. So ask yourself, how have you felt, and describe it. I can't overemphasize the need to journal, write things out, because if you are just living in your head, you won't respond properly. You won't see things clearly because you are actively inside of it. But journaling is almost like you writing things out, transferring, dumping them onto your journal. So as you're dumping it, you're closing a tab. you're closing a tab, you're closing a tab. It's almost like you are inside a jar and you've decided, okay, I want to start unpacking it. It's like you step out of that jar so you see clearly what is going on. When your emotions are high, your logic goes down. You are not able to think properly because the stress hormones are already released and it's released in that part of your brain that's supposed to reason clearly. Your cortex is not going to be able to work as it's supposed to. So your logic goes down, your emotions are heightened, you won't be able to reason clearly. So please journal. Slow down, start paying attention to how you feel. And this is especially for women who you might say you're highly sensitive to things, or you're prone to worry, prone to anxiety. You might think that you're taking things too personal. If you realize that you have those kind of feelings, you need to pay more attention. Pay more attention to how you feel and begin to write them down so you can discover patterns. You can see what's going on. You can see what role you played, what role another person played. And the truth is, we will never get this thing. Like, you may not get to a point where we are 100% perfect because you're human and our emotions make us human. So when you realize that, oh, I responded in a way I shouldn't have responded, instead of shaming yourself or allowing other people shame you, don't shame yourself. Just realize that, okay, I'm human. What lesson can I learn from this mistake I've made? And if you're able to pick that lesson out, move on. Move on, because we all make mistakes. We all respond at different points in time. We all respond to things in ways that maybe we never thought we would respond. We all do all of those things. So, journal, identify the mistakes you've made, and then see how you can learn those lessons so that going forward, you can do something better. You've learned something, learned from your past mistakes. You've observed other people around you as well, And then another thing I will talk about is self-soothing. You know that babies, they know how to soothe themselves. Like if a baby needs something, they are crying, before their mother comes, probably they're already sucking or doing one thing or the other. That is just a way to soothe themselves, make themselves feel comfortable. As they start growing, they might have some particular toys or teddy bears that they like to hold on to. It's a way of soothing themselves. But as adults, we don't really do that. You just realize that you have this surge of emotion, you're in that heightened state, and how do you calm yourself down? How do you calm yourself down? You can try to breathe, take deep breaths deliberately, consciously. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and do it until you're able to calm yourself. It's not you sweeping emotions under the carpet. It's for you to be able to calm yourself so you can respond properly to whatever situation that has happened around you. And then lastly, I will talk about the fact that you can't change anybody, especially if you realize that maybe you have people in your environment that trigger you in a way. You can't change them. They've probably been that way for so many years, and it's not really in your place to change them. But you can get to a point where you decide that this is my peace. You will not disrupt it because it's your peace. You can get to a point where you decide that no matter what you do, I won't take it personally. You won't be able to get at me. It's a place that we all need to get to, especially if you find yourself in an environment where you can't really outrightly just get out. You have to find a way around those people such that they are not able to disrupt your peace anymore. Human beings are not perfect, so always remember that. You're not perfect, you can't change anybody, but you can change yourself. That's why it's important that you understand how you feel and are able to manage your emotions. I hope that with the little tips I've shared today, you have learned one or two things and will be able to apply it next time when you realize that there's this sort of emotion that is going on the inside of you. All right, till I see you next time. Take care.